Get into the business section now. So there's two ways of getting there. If you go down to the business section on the home page, you can click the view all here, or right from the top you can drop into the business. I'm going to show you the overview page as we're on it right now. You'll see your current rank of where you're at, and this is your display rank. You can see the highest rank you've ever achieved right here. This metric, this LOPV, that stands for personal loyalty orders scheduled for the month. So, or projected, is another word of calling it. This means this is how many active loyalty orders you have in your account, the CV for the active loyalty orders in your account. Now, if the payment doesn't go through or it fails, that number won't be hit, but you can see that's where it's at. And this is my organization's active loyalty orders scheduled or projected. So you see this TV stands for team volume, and that is my team volume projected. I'm not going to get too deep into each of these charts because I'm going to do separate videos just for these. But just know this is your rank calculator chart, so that's what we'll refer to it. And this is your cumulative by day or CV by day chart right here. Down at the bottom, we'll spend some time going over this. This is your new enrollments. This chart may be moved to another location, but for right now, you'll see where it's at. On here, I can look at all the new enrollments, and you can hover over any of these little help bubbles to get help there. But I'm looking at all my new enrollments based on the filters shown here. So right now, I'm looking at November 2018's new enrollments. I can drop this down and go back to October's, or I can go back to September's even, and look at all the different enrollments on here. I can also search people right over here. But I'm going to stick with November and just what came in and tell you how to read this chart. So over here you can see their ID. Okay, so you'll see their ID as it's set in here. You will then be able to see what date they joined. So I'm going to just pick this one out just because. So Daria joined on 11/19. Daria was enrolled by Justina, and LTV, and I'll hover over this, is the lifetime value of that enrollee since, basically the day they enrolled. So total spent was in NOAA since the beginning for Daria is 300 CV. Daria has enrolled 0 people, and Daria has 0 loyalty order CV programs. You can also see Daria's rank right over here on the side. Okay. Now, what you should know is that these graphs always show an aggregate, and I'll show you why that's important. So let's drop a couple months back, and I can see how my enrollees from 2 months back, how they're performing. So as I'm dropping in here, I'm looking, and I immediately can see, wow, David Hogue has been an awesome enrollee. I enrolled him. And so far, he's done 1,100 CV himself personally in just, the 2 to 3 months he's been on. And he's enrolled 26 people, and he has 335 active loyalty order programmed or scheduled or projected. Okay, so you can see all these right here, and this is important because you can look back 2 months and say, okay, this is from 2 months ago, who's doing well? And then you can, work with them at that point. So we'll see here, let's just pick another one out. So Rio right here he hasn't purchased anything, and he has 0 enrollments, so, it's a little unrealistic, but let's see here. So we have Randy. Let's just take Randy, for example. So far in the last 2 months, she's done a total of 400 CV, right? She's enrolled 0 people, but she does have an active loyalty order. I know she might be a good one to work with because she, I could help her get some enrollments. I could help her see some traction, and that would help her go. Others who have no loyalty order programmed or running, those are people you might see, okay, they're kind of dying off. Or on the flip side, if you look at this one, Bernard the head elf, he has purchased 950 CV total in his lifetime and has enrolled 1 person. You're saying, wow, you really like the product. You've started enrolling people, but you don't have any active loyalty orders. So this is when you could then help, whoever enrolled Bernard, which happens to be me, you could then call them or help them and say, hey, why don't you help them get a loyalty order program? Because, we know that really helps them in their growth. And so that's how you read and use this chart. You can also toggle to any of the months. So if I went back to August and pushed this little download button, I would download an Excel file of all of that month's enrollments. So that's what this little button does here. Again, if you have any, you can hover over any of these question marks if you have any help, or like always, pop open the chat and the success team will be happy to help you walk through all this. I'm now going to dive into these charts specifically, so we'll get into those now.